Hey guys, this is Ryan. Got a project tonight. Dale Derry from Metal Tips and Tricks is working on his What's in Your Box Toolbox giveaway from affiliated with Keith Fenner's Toolbox giveaway. And he's making a spindle tram, or a head tram for the mill. And what he was wanting and what he asked was a couple people to just do the job of taking the dial indicator. This is just a cheap dial indicator from Harbor Freight that he wanted us to use, and make a new back on it that didn't have the lug. I think the hardest part for me to figure out exactly how I'm going to hold it, when I made the replacement lugs for the indicator backs, it always had a screw on the end, and so you could always have two different ways to hold it. But if it's just going to be the back, and the fact that these backs are only about 75 thousandths, there's not going to be a whole lot of meat to hold on that, so I'm going to have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to try to make it out of some 6010 aluminum. From looking at the indicators here, it should match up with them pretty good. So I'll bring you along with a little of it. I'll have to start off here by just cutting off a piece and then just figuring out how thick to make that so like I said, I can figure out how to hold it. Okay guys, decided to change the way that I was going to try to do this. What I'm going to do here, rather than cutting off a small piece, what I'll probably try here, at least the first time, is cut off a little bit longer piece. My chuck definitely can't get a 2 1/4 piece through, so I'm going to cut it off here just so I don't have that much stick out, and then probably try parting off the piece and then turning her out in the jaws and facing off the parted off piece. Got the Keller bandsaw here, and we'll use that to cut off the chunk. We'll start off by facing the part here to square it up best we can here. It looks pretty good. Looks like it gave a pretty good finish here too. The back that's on it currently is just a little bit under this 2 1/8 inch stock here, but it's a little bit, has a little bit of slop on the back, the original one from Harbor Freight. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the outside down here until it's all cleaned up, and it shouldn't take very much here, and then turn it down until I can physically fit the indicator onto the back. I'm just chamfering the edge using one of my threading tools. And what I'm doing here is I'm setting up my parting blade. I'm making sure that it's square. And then I'll have to measure the parting blade. And I'm using a dial indicator to move in the required depth for the blade. And then I'm going to move in another 75 thousandths then after that. And I decided to add a little bit of extra on the other end here, so I had the ability to face off because the parting blade isn't very stiff. But I'm going to give it just another 5. Just to make sure that it's okay when I try to part it here. I'm going to turn it on here. I'm going to slow it down with the VFD. It'll run like that. Let's see how this parts. Hopefully with the aluminum it'll part pretty easy, pretty cleanly. Close to the end here. There we go. That turned out pretty good. It's going to be a little precarious holding it like this for the light cuts that we need. Hopefully it'll be okay. I'll just try to bump this in fairly close. Looks like that's Looks like that's the one that's closest to me, so we'll bump that in. It's a little higher there. It's a little higher there. So 94 there. 90. This is so high. $90, $92, $90, $91, $90, $90. They're at least all pretty consistent along the jaws for what we need it. I'm not going to be able to measure it very well, the thickness on here, but I know from when I was measuring there that the middle part here appeared to be a little bit thicker. So we'll start going in there, and then we'll just try to take, we don't have to get down to the exact 0.075 of the other back here, but it was about 95, so we got close to 20 to take off the outsides here. And I'll use the dial indicator here on the ways to kind of get that total off. That'll at least get it close, just in case the other person making the other back ends up going to exact specs of the back that's on the current model. Let's get the nib off of here real quick. I'm just going to go in and touch off on the inside here. Then I'm going to block off the carriage and just feed in to get everything back to about the same size. The best finish that I can. So I have the power feed and the lead screw all disconnected or not engaged. feed in. Carriage. Feed in 20. Lock carriage. And we'll see how this cut goes. Pretty close here to the jaws, but should have clearance room. We'll see how well I did. Got down to about 72, so $72, $71. 3,000's pretty good for a back. Looks like part of it, it may have got pushed in on one of the sides just a little bit. So for right now, we got the back and the ready to go here. And that's the lug that came off of it. See, they're both right around that thick. We'll get everything to set up on the mill to drill and countersink the holes. I'll probably do that tomorrow night if I can get out. Or not tomorrow night, but maybe Saturday night. We'll be back. This isn't going to be a rocket science measurement here, but I'm just going to get a general indication of the hole. I got a couple pins that fit the holes here fairly well. I tried to put another indicator that had the same pattern on top to try to give the pins a little bit more stability, but didn't seem to work too well. So I'm just going to kind of stand them up here. I'm going to have to kind of just mainly catch the bottom edge. So both of them are kind of standing up straight here at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm probably getting my hands in the way here, but kind of read here. I have a tough time reading these verniers. A little too far-sighted for this most times, but so I got 925 plus 18. I'm reading that right? Plus 18, so 2943. And then that's the diameter to the outsides of the pins. And I'm just going to write that down so I don't forget it here. Okay, we're set up in the center. I don't know how much of the setup I was able to get on my phone when I was doing it earlier, but I used a indicator holder off the spindle and a last word indicator to dial in the center where we should be approximately now. I have the back sitting in a 5C emergency collet that I bored out to the diameter of the back, and I have it in a square collet holder. See, when I was getting ready to do the first take on here, I had done a little bit of math problem. When I was measuring between the pins, I had wrote down 2.943 when it was actually 1.943, and so the radius will end up being 0.916 or 0.917 when I've rounded it. I'm not going to get that precision here with this mill anyway. And so what I had calculate on here is that because of my my lathe dials are in 125 thousandths, I'm going to need to go around full turns down to 875. Which will be 7 full revolutions. So I'm going to have to do 7 fulls plus 42 thousandths on the last one. And I'm just going to move this out along the bed of the axis here, and then what I'm going to do is, for each operation, spin the collet chuck. I have the I'm drawing a blank on the name, the vice stop, or the stop in the back here, so that should get us good enough to repeat on that. And since we had I know the pins that we're going through there were about 0.106, 0.107. I'm using the drill bit, and I believe it's the 3/64 that I picked up on here. That should be about that size and should give a clearance hole for the screws. So I'm going to go ahead and move out the required diameters here. So I got 7 full. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what I do here, since I'm going in a direction where the numbers start at 43, what I'm going to do is actually move and redo my scale and set it to 42, and then just go back to 0, so I don't have to subtract the 42 from 125 in my head. And that looks about right on the indicator here on the edge. So, to the second one, and then I'll bring you back on the fourth. It's a 3/32 drill. First one I was going was was using a 7/64, but I look back at the screws. As long as I'm close enough on the radius, I should get by with this size, and hopefully it's a little bit shorter and won't try to push off as much. Sorry if my arm's getting in the way there, but now we'll just try to be a little bit more careful when we turn here to make sure that we're getting set back down there. The round collet nut on there was making it a little bit tough to make sure that the collet chuck, or the collet thing was square. And we'll bring you back on the last one. Don't have much time left on my battery, so I'm going to countersink these with the number 28 drill, which is about 4 thousandths over the size of the heads of the screws, and I'm going to go down about 40 thousandths. There's only 70 thousandths thick here. Then want to leave a little bit of holding, and then I'll check the screw to see exactly how well we did. I'll set a stop on here when I get the first one done, so we can try to get all of them approximately the same. I'm just going to go down, touch off, and then go down 40 thousandths. Okay, we're touched off, setting the dial, and then going down 40 thousandths. Set a new 0 there. Come back up. grab a copy of a head of one of these screws here real quick. Hopefully these screws are the same ones as the same indicators from Harbor Freight. On the other screws, I left them inside. They're pretty flush there. Just don't want to go too much deeper. I'm going to go down to about 45 and see what we get from there. Went down another 10. Reset my zero again. That's getting pretty far down in there, so I'm not going to go any further. The screw should be pretty close to flush. We'll bring back a little bit. I got the piece cleaned up here a little bit, and we'll fit it against the back, and still got to do a little bit more cleanup, but at least all the holes look like they line up fairly close. Pretty nice fit. That's the bevel that I put on. That was a little bit too steep there the first time I put it on, but I'll just put that on the inside and give it a little bit. Once the screws are in there, it'll hold. I'm going to put the piece in the vibrating media there to help take some of these other edges off that were a little bit more difficult to deburr without scratching it up, and hopefully take off a few of the little surface dings that I put on it. It's one thing learning as I work with aluminum a little bit more is it's a lot easier to mar up the surface on it than it would be a little steel. But I'll show it to you once I am putting it back together. I'll put it in the tumbler now for a while. Thanks, Dale, for letting me help out with your mill spindle level project for the Keith Fenner What's in Your Toolbox giveaway. Hopefully I'll get an email to you so I can get your address, get it shipped to you, and hopefully it'll meet your needs for the one indicator. Hopefully you found somebody to do another one. If not, just let me know. We'll see if we can try to do it a different way. Thanks for watching, and go check out Dale's channel at Metal Tips and Tricks, his YouTube. They say curiosity killed the cat. Hopefully I'm not a cat. While the vibrator was going there with the cover, I was just kind of curious on just what kind of metal was on this current lug back, and how easy it would be to actually just mill it off. We'll see how this goes. It actually does look like metal. Wow, that caught.